How's it going, fans of the PMC? Dr. V here once again, bringing you our Week 5 Power Rankings. Now this week, I am going to admit I didn't have time to fully watch all the battles. I had to fast forward through a lot of them, and yeah, with this being a holiday week and my job being fairly busy on holidays, I just did not have the time. So I do apologize, but I did my best to do these rankings fairly, and I don't know exactly what was going through everyone's minds when they were battling, since I didn't get to listen to most of the audio, but yeah, this I think I actually like these power rankings, and stay tuned till after if we reveal who's number one this week. There's a little bit something extra here, so alright, let's get started. Starting off with number 12, we have Maxx and the Maxximum Charizards. Now, this match is one of those I didn't fully watch. It was a really long match, and I just did not have the time to sit here for 30 minutes, I believe, to watch the entire match in audio. So I had to fast forward through a lot. But basically, I feel like Maxx kind of threw this match. Now, I'm not a big fan of throwing things, and the reason I say that he might have thrown the match near the end was when he was going up against the Arcanine and close combat didn't kill with him only. He could have switched into his Tentacruel to take the Flare Blitz, but instead he switched into Ferrothorn, which was his Vaporeon counter, and just let it take the Flare Blitz and die. So Tentacruel would have easily taken the Flare Blitz, and it could have scalded or taken out the Arcanine. But yeah, it seems like he kind of threw the match a little bit, and that's why he's moving down to 12 this week. So number 11, we have Roshan and the Detroit Solgaleos. Now this match, I'm not sure exactly what happened. It just seemed more like Akki prepared better. He had momentum throughout the entire match. And I know that Roshan's had some stuff going on, so hopefully things get better, man. I feel like that everything that's going on just affected you this weekend. You didn't have enough time to prep, so unfortunately that does drop you along with the 4-0 loss to number 11. Alright, so number 10, we have Orso and the Windsor Weaviles. Now, he is moving up 2 spots this week due to his performance last week. Or this week, I should guess. I don't know. Whatever. This last week's battle. Week 4's battle. Basically, I'm going to quote what CJ said here. Choice specs Manectric. The Manectric, I believe, picked up all 6 kills. Now, this was one of the matches that I watched completely. So, basically, there was one point in the game where it really just changed the outcome. Yeah, so CJ had clicked Scald with Manaphy, and he had gotten Clefable down to where a high roll probably would have killed it, but he decided to play it safe, and also got the Wish onto the Manectric, which raised it back to full health. Now, if CJ had just gone for Scald instead and tried to hit the Clefable or something, he probably would have won the match, honestly. The Scald would have taken out the Manectric. It was in the red, but instead the Wish got him back up to near full health, and from there he was just able to pretty much wreak havoc as he pleased with it. So good job to Orso changing up the sets and using that Manectric how it should be used as just a heavy, fast hitter. So, yeah. Alright, now moving up one spot from last week, we have Dolphin and the Voltgate zoroarks. Now again, he did go up against Maxx in the Maxximum Charizards this week, so... and again, I do think that he just threw the match, so... I feel like he could have won this one, but he didn't, so... Dolphin got the win here and moves up one spot. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I'm not exactly sure what happened or what everyone's thought process was here. Maybe he didn't throw the match, maybe he just misclicked something, but I don't know. From what I could tell, it looked like he threw the match, so yeah. Alright, so moving up to on to number 8. We have actually a newcomer to the PMC. We have... I lost his name, but I think it's Shadow and the Connecticut Crocodiles. I believe that's what his name is. If not, I do apologize. I will get it right for the last 2 weeks. So, yeah. This week he did lose a 1-0 to Trev, but it was an extremely close 1-0, and he very easily could have won, honestly. This match was on Showdown, so I did watch it live, so I didn't really watch the commentary after to see what they posted on their videos, but yeah, it was a really good match, honestly. Probably one of my favorite matches this week, and momentum just kept swinging back and forth, and Trev ended up picking up a 1-0 victory this week. So yeah, that's unfortunate for our newcomer here, but he played really well, so I expect to see him get back into the winning column here this next week if he plays as well as he did this week. Alright, so on to number 7. We have Kyle and the Mesquite Mesprits staying in the same spot. So, yeah, he lost a 3-0 to Adam and the Kansas City Kakunas this week. Basically, the turning point of this match was when Kyle lost his Mega Metagross. Up to that point, it seemed like he could still pull out a victory, even though Adam really had most of the momentum the entire match. But once Metagross went down, it was pretty much game over at that point. So yeah, Kyle played the way he likes to play again, which is super offensive, and he actually picked up Weavile, which is one of my favorite mons to use. And the Weavile ended up getting some kills this week, and yeah, I think that Weavile fits in perfectly, and I think that he can use it to his advantage for the rest of the season. Obviously, he can't take it into next season because it's mine, but yeah. Hopefully, he can get some more kills with it in these last 2 weeks. Moving on to number 5, we have CJ and the Baltimore Oriolus. Now, again this week, I only knocked him down one spot because while he did lose a 4-0 to Orso, if he had just clicked Scald in that one point in the match, he probably would have won, because the rest of his team was handled fairly well actually by CJ's team, so it really could have been a different story if he had clicked Scald. So I'm not knocking him too much, and I'm only bringing him down one spot from last week. Okay, number 4. We have Adam and the Kansas City Kakunas. Yeah, he picked up the 3-0 victory over Kyle, and of course he predicted the Metagross, how to perfectly counter it. It's showing why Metagross isn't really that much of a threat when you expect your opponent to bring it every week. It's fairly easy to actually counter if you prep for it. There's a lot of different things that you can do for it. So, yeah. Good job to Adam. He definitely proved, or tried to prove, that last week was a fluke and that he is getting back on his winning ways. So, yeah. Moving on to number 3. We have Jack in the Maryland Mienshaos. Now, he does drop from number 1 due to his loss to Spencer this week. But again, it was just a really close match overall. Spencer picked up a 1-0 victory. And yeah, I'm not really sure what else to say about that match. Like, it was really close. And I enjoyed watching that match. So, fortunately, Jack does move down because of the loss, since the last 2 people won. Which would be for number 2, Trev and the Atlanta Braviaries. Now, again, this one was another really close match, being a 1-0 over Shadow, who took over for RG, who had to leave, unfortunately. But, yeah. Considering that Shadow had such limited time to prep for this, he played really well, and Trev just made the plays that he needed to, which got him the victory in the end. So even though he did mess up at certain points where it could have been a different differential, but he ended up winning, and that's what really matters in the end, I guess. So yeah. Alright, and on to number 1 for this week. We have Akki and the Portland Crobats. Now, yeah, Akki played really well. Again, he got a 4-0 victory over Roshan. And again, this one I'm not sure exactly what happened, but he did get up the 4-0 victory, which puts him at number 1 for this week, since he was at number 2 last week. So yeah, that's it for power rankings. Now, time for a little something extra here for you guys. So I'm gonna go over the playoff race, how all the teams are doing, and where they currently stand. So let's start with teams that are out of the playoffs currently. So, alright. First off, we have the Detroit Solgaleos and the Maxximum Charizards. Now, their playoff chances are shot, I believe. Well, actually, no. Max's playoff chances are shot. There is no way he can catch Spencer or Dolphin. Sorry, gee, I forgot his name. My bad. He can't catch them anymore due to the weeks we have left. So unfortunately, he is done and out of the playoffs. He can. Hopefully, he still picks up his win at some point, and he can. Yeah, I think that he improved tremendously throughout the season. And moving on to the Detroit Solgaleos. Now, they are not exactly out of the playoffs yet. Basically, what needs to happen is that CJ needs to lose out, and Orso can win once more, but he has to have a low differential, and Roshan has to have a really high differential to make the playoffs. But it'd be better for him if CJ and Orso both lost out the rest of the season and he won out. That's really the only way that he would stand to get in, since he has a -10 differential right now. Yeah. So next set of teams that are out of the playoffs currently. Next up, we have the Voltgate Zoroarks and the Windsor Weaviles. Now, these two teams are not out of the playoffs completely yet. However, if CJ does win his next match and Orso loses his next match, then it is going to be goodbye playoffs for the Windsor Weaviles. Yeah, so currently as things stand, CJ leads the Naval Division with a 3 wins, 2 losses, and a 0 differential. So Orso has 2 wins, 3 losses, and a -1 differential. So it's really close right there. And if things continue on, I'm not sure how this division is actually going to turn out. It's really unpredictable. I had honestly picked CJ to win last week against Orso and claim his playoff spot, but that didn't happen. And now if he loses out, he stands to lose his playoff spot. Alright, and the Voltgate Zoroarks. They are actually... Oh, sorry, never mind. We're going to go on to the Washington Talonflames right now. So they are actually tied with the Voltgate Zoroarks at 3 wins and 2 losses. But Dolphins win over Maxx this week puts him at a +3 differential, while Spencer has a 0 differential of 0. So again, this is where differentials start to come into play, since we are nearing the end. This one can go either way. I believe they face each other this week, so this really could decide the playoffs and who makes it or not. I don't remember. I think Spencer has the head-to-head differential right now, so if he wins again and they're tied, then it'd be a matter of him making it due to winning the head-to-head differential right now. But if it was just based on differential and winning and losing, it'd be the Zoroarks that are actually in right now. So yeah, I'm actually gonna check that really quick. So, yeah, actually, the Voltgate Zoroarks did win the last one, so right now they are actually in the playoffs. So, I do apologize, my sheet wasn't completely updated, but yeah. So, if Spencer ties him in differential, or wins the next match against Dolphin, then it's gonna go down to a plus or minus differential, so it'll be interesting to see how this division turns out. Alright, next we have people that are actually in the playoffs right now. So we have the Maryland Mienshaos and the Mesquite Mesprits. Now, neither of these two teams are necessarily out of the playoffs. Neither of the... I don't know, this is really confusing to me, honestly. Okay, so pretty much it's 4 teams out of the 8 will make it from each division. So it's really going to come down to seeding, but right now Kyle has 2 wins and 3 losses, so that puts him above Orso due to him having a 0 differential when Orso has a -1 differential. But yeah, either of these 2 teams could make the playoffs right now, and one of them might not, so we'll see who it is. And right now I'm going over the 4th wildcard spots, so the Maryland Mienshaos. Now this is probably the toughest division that that's in the D-League, the Seafoam division. The Atlanta Braviaries, Connecticut Crocodiles, and Maryland Mienshaos, they are all tied with 3-2, and believe it or not, the differentials go 6, 5, and 4. So it's really close, and a lot of things can change with these last 2 weeks. So right now, as it stands, actually no, it doesn't even, nothing even stands in this division really. Right now Trev is in first place of the division, but that can easily change due to the differentials, honestly. And I haven't, let's check the head-to-heads actually, so I'm not giving you false information here. So let's see. He lost to the Mienshaos and he beat the Crocodiles. So, yeah. Right now it's gonna be really close, and he has to beat the Mienshaos on his next time around to try and claim the division for his own and hope that the Crocodiles lose again. But yeah, again, this division really close. So next up in the third wildcard spot, we have the Connecticut Crocodiles and the Portland Crobats. Yeah, Crocodiles again, Seafoam division, tied at 3-2, +5 differential right now, so they are right in the middle. But they did just switch coaches, so who knows how that's gonna work. And the Portland Crobats. Now this division is actually really interesting. He is currently 1 win behind Adam, and they do face off this next week, so this could determine who gets the number 1 seed in their division if he can manage to pull out this victory. He does have a higher differential than Adam does right now, so if he does win, then he will have a higher differential, so it will definitely come into play here later on, here late in the season, I mean. Alright, and now for our division champs. Currently as it stands, we have the Voltgate Zoroarks and as leading the Cinnabar division and being the number 2 seed in the Indigo Conference. Like I said, they are tied with the Talonflames at 3-2 all, but the 3-0 differential is what's putting Dolphin ahead of Spencer right now. And currently the number 2 seed in the Orange division is CJ, who is the leader of the Naval division right now, winning. Again, he has 3-2 and he has a +0 differential, so yeah, this, if he does lose out, he could lose his playoff spot depending on how the rest of the people do, but it's gonna be really close regardless. Okay. Yeah, that's it for the number 2. So now for the number 1 seeds. Currently in the Indigo division, we have Trev and the Atlanta Braviaries, who are leading the Seafoam division. Again, this division is tied at the top 3-2, about 1 mon differential between the rest of them. So it's gonna be an interesting finish to this. This could easily be the Crocodiles or the Mienshaos here at the number 1 seed. And finally, leading the Orange Conference, we have Adam and the Kansas City Kakunas, who are leading the Kumquat division. With a 4-1, he has the best record in the league so far. And he has a +4 differential, but again, watch out for Akki this week. If he wins, he will take control of the division and the number 1 seed here in that division, so yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. I know this video was a little longer. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But yeah, see you next week, and I promise you next week I will watch all the videos and know exactly what's going on. Later.